Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. My name's Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. It's a time where we can relax and craft together. And I typically work on projects from beginning to end so you guys can come and work on them with me in real time. So we're going to continue on the Splendid Sampler 2 project. So we are going from the book now, and I'm going to finish up the Flower Child block. So the Flower Child block is on page 102. Oop, there's my little printout of it, but there it is in the book, 102. And we are pretty much done. All we have to do yet is sew around the edge. So I have fused all this down, and now I want to stitch around the edge. And I have a couple of, or an idea for that I want to show you. And I got a little package from Mass today. My what are these called? Oh, magic pins. My magic pins have come today, so I want to look at those as well. So awesome. Thanks again for joining me, everyone. I'm going to flip you around. Let's get sewing tonight. All right. So here is the deal with the my block here. So originally, I was thinking that I would just sew around with my normal thin thread, my normal thread that we've been piecing with, and be done with it. And then it would look kind of like this. See how we've stitched around this bird with just the plain thread. It makes it just really easy, blends in, and then I thought that's all we would do. But then I remembered we have this other block. They're all stitched in my quilt as you go already. But this block, we used some of our 12 weight thread and used that instead to kind of outline it a little bit. And I think I might do that instead on this project. So, and the reason being is that everything kind of blends together, like it all mushes into the background a little bit here. And I think by tracing it in a color or something that will pop, like the thickness of the thread or the color of the thread, I think will make our shapes stand out a little bit. And I had originally thought this orange, just because that's what we used already on this flower here. But then I saw, when I went to get this, I saw that I had a kind of gold color that would really kind of match some of this. And I think this might outline the shapes really nicely without it popping too much, which I think it'll pop too much with this orange. So I think I'm going to go with this gold. Yes, oh, no, yes, exactly, Gretchen. So the lower number the thread, the thicker the thread. So this is 12 weight thread, and I'll show you the difference once I can pop this open. Let's grab the stork to help me out. Fresh thread. Ooh, it's fuzzy. Oh, wow, it just does not want to come out of here, though. So with thicker thread, you need to have a needle that will handle it as well. So like that 90-10 needle. I always forget what the second number is on the needles. But here we are. So this is that gold. I think that'll be just really pretty. Just delicate, just barely. You'll be able to tell the shapes, but they won't be in your face, I think, with this. So we'll see how that goes. I'll show you the difference between the threads. Let me just snip this from the machine. So these are the same company, Aurifil. This is 50 weight thread, and this is 12 weight thread. So 50 and 12, and look at the difference. So the bigger number is the smaller thread, and the smaller number is the bigger thread. So there you go. It's quite a bit of a difference. You can actually embroider with this too if you wanted. I think like 2 threads of that, and you got a couple threads of embroidery floss basically. So there we go. That is the difference there. So I do need a bigger needle to accommodate this. I think a denim needle would be great. I'm going to do a test I'm going to see if this 90 needle will work. This is just mostly because it's sitting around here. This is the needle that I just replaced yesterday. So, you know, in theory, this is dull already, and I probably shouldn't be using it, but it's still sitting here, and I think it might fit this thread. So we're gonna give this a try and see how that does. And if it's just a nightmare, then I'll try and find a new needle. But you know, I'm only going around these bits. I just really want it to work. So we're gonna test that. And I wanted to show you guys my magic pins. So I think some of you guys got these when they were on mass drop. I haven't opened them at all yet. I just want to peek at them quick, get rid of the packaging. Oh, is the numbering system? I think the numbering system is universal, Gretchen. So like 12 weight thread is going to be 12 weight thread, whichever company you're with. Like this 12 weight thread, I use this is Aurifil, but I use the Sulky 12 weight. So Sulky is another company. I use their 12 weight to crochet the doily with. So what I'm using here is the same weight of thread that I crocheted that whole entire doily with. Oh, you got these too, Gretchen, but they didn't arrive yet. So they just came late today, and there's one hiding in here, so let me get that one too. Pop that out of there. But I thought they were kind of neat. And like I said, I need to replace almost all of my needles. I kind of hate them all. They're all just bent or don't stick very well. And these ones were kind of cool because they have a silicone end, so you can actually iron over them. They're kind of like glass tip ones where the iron won't affect it. So I'm excited to give them a try. And it comes in a neat case. So kind of cute. Came in the mail today. Next time we use pins, I'm going to use these. You know, I'm probably going to get rid of the case though, because I like storing my pins on my magnetic pin cushion right here, just because then they're right there when I need them. So I probably will lose the container, but this container is kind of awesome. So I'm going to use this for something else for sure. But I'll probably, you know, like for travel or something. I don't know. This would be a good place to put pins or like a bobbin and pins or something for traveling. I don't know why I would need a bobbin for traveling, but it's a nice little case. So I won't throw it away. I just think I might not use it for these pins. Oh, I got one stuck in here somewhere. It's not closing all the way. Well, anyway, so one of these days I'm going to have to go through all these pins and get rid of the bent ones. Like they're all bent. They're all horrible. And I'll exchange them with these. So that was a fun mail day. Always nice when we get a fun mail day. All right, so I'm going to put this on the machine. I'm going to change my needle and attempt to thread it. That'll be interesting too, if I can get the thread through. And then we'll do this. I will not change the bobbin. The bobbin I will leave on, here's another similar one. I'm going to leave the 50 weight on the bobbin because 12 weight, I've done that before, put the 12 weight on the bobbin, and my bobbin doesn't like it. My machine doesn't like it. It jams a lot more. It just is not friendly, whereas with that lighter thread bobbin underneath, the 50 weight bobbin, that seems to work just fine. So we're going to do that again tonight. All right, so let's get to work over here. All right, I need to finish taking this thread out. Ooh, get that needle up. Here, I'll back out so you guys can see a little better. We're going to get up on top of the machine too. Okay, so get this guy on. Get rid of my little leader here. So I'm not going to change the bobbin. That'll just stay exactly where it is. Let's change this needle. So I will use this needle again because it's new. I just put it in yesterday. But let's attempt to use this older needle. Again, I'm using this needle because it's a slightly larger needle. And it's a 90 versus an 80. So I'm hoping that it will hold this larger thread a little bit better. And we'll do a little test run as well on a scrap just to see how it sews. So it's pretty fuzzy at the end here and actually quite a bit. I'm going to just snip right there, get a nice fresh tip onto here. I have had a little trouble threading these in the past, but we're going to give it a try. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to try threading it with the needle off. Let's see if this works. So I have to get another nice clean point. And I am going to thread this needle like I thread a normal needle. So with the curved side, since it goes in the curved side of this needle first, I'm going to just pinch, thread my needle. There we go. And now I'm just going to put the needle back in. That was kind of a crazy way to thread a needle, but it's doing the job. I know I can thread a needle that way, and I was having trouble threading it just by kind of stabbing the end at the eye. So there we go. All right, let's get down in here. I want to get going on here. So let's give this a test. I think I'm just going to test it on my little ender piece here. Do a little run through. All right, so far so good. So I wouldn't want to stitch a whole large piece like this just because this thread, you know, I might need a needle with a slightly larger eye just so it doesn't scrape as much. But all right, there's the tension. I'm just checking the tension. All right, it looks good from the front. The back, it does look like it's pulling through. I mean, it looks like it's maybe too loose, but I think that's a trick of the eye because that is actually thicker thread, so we can just see it punched through those holes a little bit more. If we pull on it, I think we're looking pretty good. So I'm gonna keep it just like that. So all right, let's snip there and let's get started with the real thing here. Okay, where should we start? I think let's start with one of these side phalanges, just because if we mess up, the color will blend in pretty well to this background. So let's see, I'm going to start at kind of what looks like a point down here. I'm going to leave a long tail, and I'm going to just sew just slightly inside the edge here. Hopefully it works okay. Actually, I'm going to start on a straightaway here. There we go. All right, I'm just holding the ends while I get started. All right, and I'm just going to go slowly around. I can see the shape over here, so I can see where to go next. On really tight curves, while the needle is down, I'm going to lift up the presser foot a little, like right here. Ooh, it's going to be pretty. It's going to be subtle, but it's going to be obvious that we did something a little special with the applique, I think. Turn a little bit more. All right, I think we're at that point, and let's rotate this way. I'm going to do that thing where I pull the threads to the back and tie them off as well. And I'll show you what I mean in a sec here, once I get all the way around. All right, I think that's it for that side. And I'm just doing a straight stitch. I could have done like a zigzag or something, but I think this is going to work just fine. Do I need one more stitch? I think I got it. So I think that's it. I'm going to pull that out. We will snip. And so here's what I mean. I'm going to, instead of back tacking or anything, I'm gonna get up a little higher for you guys. Instead of back tacking where I kind of lock in the beginning of the stitches and the end by going reverse and forward, instead I didn't do that at all because I'm going to pull those end pieces to the back. So how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna pull, can't grab it. So I'm gonna just pull on the little threads from the back. And as I pull on it, I'm pulling that front stitch through. So where that loop is, I'm going to just pull that entire bit through. So I got to do the same for the other side, the beginning and the end. I'm just going to use my stiletto to pull those through. So there we go. I pulled the stitches through to the back, and now you can't even tell where I started and stopped really. So that is what I'm doing, but I do need to just tie these off. So I think I'm just going to tie the yellows together, and I'm going to tie the thin ones, the thin guys together, and we'll call it a day. Just not doing anything special. I just don't want these to pull out again, so we'll just tie them in a little square knot and call it a day. And I'll probably do this as I go, just so I don't get a tangled mess on the back as I do the other pieces. So we have a lot of pieces, a lot of little threads, or a lot of little applique pieces to sew today. So let's see how far we get. It gets a little finicky doing all of this, but it is kind of pretty being able to just pull these to the back. All right. So that is our first applique piece done. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 more. So we did one. Let's get this little guy before I forget him on the side. Maybe I won't tie them all off at the same time. Maybe I'll jump around. I don't know. The tying off just takes a while. This time I'm going to start at the point. It's kind of hard to see though. Oh yes! Yeah, now would be a perfect time, you guys, to look for a turkey lacer in the grocery store since it's almost Thanksgiving. The turkey lacer, that's what my stiletto is made out of. So this is just a normal turkey lacer that you would use to, tie up the legs on a turkey when you roast it. And it has just some pretty beads glued to it. So I think there's just a dab of glue in the bottom to kind of hold it there. Oh, kind of in between too. And this one has a flat bead on it, and I really like that for the handle. It's nice that it's flat. But yeah, just a turkey lacer. They probably come in a whole bag of them, would be my guess. I haven't made them before. This was a gift, but I would love to give it a try sometime. I really don't need to go back this way. This might just be enough. Just one little stitch down the middle. Should I just do it that way? Should I just leave it like one stitch? That's kind of okay. I might just leave it like that. And we're gonna go back the other way just because then I can tie the threads to each other. Just make it a little bit more secure. Where are we? I think that's about good. Ugh, and then of course I go completely off the rails. Oh well. See, I went looped way out there. That's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna just kind of hold these threads out of the way, and I'm gonna do the other side. Just get her done. I'm gonna do this big piece first. Since the colors of the fabric are blending so much into each other, I'm having a hard time finding the edges. I should have like a clear presser foot or something. Actually, a clear presser foot would work a whole lot better. I wonder if I have one of those. I'll have to dig. That's too late now. Next time I'll have to see. Because it would be nice to see through this right now. So every time I make a big turn like this, I'm just lifting my presser foot with my hand back here. If you have a knee, that's what the knee lifts do really well for. So a lot of the newer machines have a little knee pedal or a knee. It's kind of like a little metal, what are they called? It's just like a little metal bar, a knee bar. Is that what they're called? Oh, it's called a turkey lacer. A turkey lacer. Like a shoelace. But that knee bar will lift up the presser foot, which is awesome because like if I could do that right now, I wouldn't have to have my hand back here. I'd have both my hands on here, and then I would just use my knee. Like my knee would just go boop, boop. If I had one of those, but I don't, so I gotta reach up there every time I want to turn. And I think I needed to make like one stitch in this direction. We'll do two. All right, that guy's done. A knee lift, is that it? Yeah. Okay, so I know I said I was gonna tie all these off, but I don't feel like it. I'm gonna do this one yet before tying them off. Then maybe I should take a little break and tie them off. I think we'll start. Let's just start with it. I'm going to start at the middle. Try the middle this time. I don't want to use, I mean, I could try my quilting foot, that Westerly ruler, except for, I think this is just going to go better for me because the machine's like just pulling it through a little bit better. Like I can go slower and I can be more controlled, I think, this way. And I used that foot when I did that flower. The flower that I did the 12 weight with, this one, and it skipped a bunch of stitches when I was doing the free motion. So I think this is just going to be easier for me than doing free motion. So that's why I'm doing it this way. But if you have confidence in your free motion quilting, you can go for it. I just didn't think I would be able to do that all that well. All right, I'm going to just keep going. Again, I do need to pull all these to the back. I just don't want to yet. Let's get this whole top done, the whole top done, and then I'll pull all these threads to the back, and then we'll do these little ones maybe. So let's do this big one. I'm going to start, I think, right at the bottom here. We can just try and get all these threads out of the way at least. All right, we're going to start there. I think this yellow was a good choice. I like this. I'm going to have to leave this out. I'll leave the orange and the yellow out in case we want to use it later in the quilt, in our quilt, because we have used both now for extra little thread colors. Or maybe we'll have a embroidered part at some point that we'll want to use this color, then we'll have it. Again, I'm having a hard time seeing if I'm even on my fabric because it's blending in so much. We're still okay. I don't know if you guys can see very well. Let's go right there instead. Get around. Got the little monkey there. He's cute. Whoop. Trying to keep turning. All right, I think we'll stop right there. I can tell that it's not liking the 12 weight all that much. It's trying to, I think it's scraping the eye of the needle too much. It's kind of unraveling a little bit as it comes through all this, but we'll make it through. We'll make it through all these little bits there. Oh, it's looking cute. All right, let's do this heart. I think let's start at the bottom here. Actually, I'm going to start on the edge. It seems to be working better when I'm starting on like an edge, a straightaway. Maybe then it's like at a spot that you're not looking at as much, I think. So let's start going down this side for a couple stitches. My table's squeaky today. If your machine, not only that knee lift, but if it has the down button, the needle down button, that would be excellent for this type of applique work as well. So what the needle down button is no matter where you stop, the machine is gonna put your needle down into the machine, which is great because then you can lift up and pivot like this on the needle. For me, I have to get lucky if it doesn't pop back up, and I gotta like just tap so my needle just hopefully goes down and I don't hit my foot pedal too fast so it bounces back up. But yeah, if you have that on the needle down feature, you should use it for this. Okay. Oh, that's pretty. There, so that's the whole top so far, the top area. Let's, I'm gonna just do all this later. If I have to deal with a whole mess on the back, I'm gonna just finish sewing, get all these threads out of the way. Let's get them away on the back as best we can too. And let's stitch these bottom pieces. See, I caught a bunch of it here already. Oh no, that's my first knot. Got caught in some stuff. All right, we're fine. All right, let's finish. I think I'm going to do this little tiny circle in the middle first, and then we'll do some of these other guys. Ooh, this is a little oval. A lot of slow stitching and turning. Yeah, if I ever get another machine that's new, it's gonna have that knee lever. All right, well, I kind of stitched over my little purple flower in the middle there, but that's okay. It's kind of funny. All right, let's do the big petally thing here. Let's start at the bottom of it though. Start right there. Concentrating. All right, there we go. Done with that one. I think he's looking pretty good. 3 more pieces, then I can tie all of these off. I really like this framing it. I think this is looking nice. Framing it with this yellow thread. It's actually adding quite a bit of yellow feel to this, but luckily it's the same color as all the rest of my things we've been doing here. That yellow. Oh, all the old machines used to have knee lifts and then it became uncool. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Dang, well that sucks. I would like a knee lift on this guy. But I'm thinking it'd be way older than these machines. I would think that the industrial machines that they would use would have had some sort of knee lift on back in history. Because you're going to want your hands free for doing all that sewing. All right, 2 more. Oh, you have 3 old singers that have knee lifts? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, my husband's great-grandma's old singer does not have a knee lift. And I have that old Kenmore, that steampunk one. I think that's from the 40s. Yeah, that one's from the 40s. I don't think that one had a knee pedal either, but that would be pretty rad. Maybe there's a spot for them and I just didn't know what it was for. I'll have to check again. All right, 1 more. Yay. I gotta take care of all these crazy threads. But I'll move for that. We'll get away from the machine. I think we got everything. We'll have to check. There's so many little pieces with this one. Oh, your Janome has a knee lift, and it lifts the presser foot automatically. That's nice. See, like all those little. Again, you don't need any of those doohickeys, but it does make life a little easier sometimes. All right, last stitch. There we are, our mess of stuff. I'm gonna get over here so I can get you guys up a little higher, and let's go to the back of this and tie all these off, but I think it's gonna look really pretty. All right, let's start at the top and work our way down. So we'll start with this heart. I believe the back is pulling out already. Grab that, and again, you're just pulling the back thread, and when you pull the back thread, it'll pop the thread from the front to the back. You just kind of get it out of there. All right, and I'm going to tie them off, and again, I'm going to just tie off. Oh, I might have pulled that other one through. Oh well. Let's try that again. There we go. Might have lost a stitch here, but that's okay. There it comes. All right, now everything's to the back. So I'm gonna, again, just tie yellow to yellow and cream to cream. And we'll just finish it up. Hey, and I think this means I have 4 finished blocks, and that means I can start another quilt as you go square. So we'll start that tomorrow. Another quilt as you go square. So that'll be good. Sew those together. Ooh, I got a crazy knot in there. All right, there we go. These little tiny threads are so hard to handle. All right, heart is done. I'm gonna just start over here. Let's get this little weird phalange that was on the side all tangled. Okay. Pop threads up. Right, there's one. The other's right here. Yep, there we go. I think this is going to be cute. This is going to clean it up a lot by pulling all these threads to the back. This is kind of a new to me technique, but I like it because I was always doing a little back tack on the front, and you could always see it. It was always visible. And I like that now, doing this technique of just pulling the threads to the back. Then you can't really see, unless you have a crazy mess. There you go. There. Oop, I lost a little stitch with the heart, but that's okay. Because I pulled the wrong thread through. All right, let's do, I did this one already, so let's do the bottom piece. All right, there's one. Yeah, this turkey lacer stiletto is totally just the right size. I love it. It's just perfect. Okay, get these threads. Ugh, these threads are making me feel super clumsy today. I think it's just because they're itty bitty. And the light colored ones. I think I might have missed some of you guys' conversation tonight, so I apologize for that. Looking too much on where I'm at with the applique. All right, this is the next googly shape over here. And there's the second one. Okay. This is cotton thread, this 12 weight. And you can tell it's like really fuzzy and stuff. Fuzzy cotton. Let's peek at where we're at after this. All right, just want to peek. It's getting cleaner. We almost have the top done. That's pretty though. A little itty bitty, kind of a little subtle frame. Makes me feel like I did something special with the applique. All right, so we got this guy over here and all these 5 bottom ones yet. So we got a little bit to go yet. How are we doing on time? Oh, we got time yet. Good. I want to finish this. Get it done before tomorrow so we can do the quilt as you go again. Oh, there's all sorts of different types of thread. I mean, there's wool thread, there's different blended threads. I've been using cotton thread for this project. Oh, I already stitched that. It's the wrong one. Where are you? There we go. Felt it. Just had to pull a little harder. Oh, that's not it again. Come on. This one's not one that comes to the back. There we go. Yeah, so the typical thinking for thread, I mean, I'm not a pro at thread, but the typical thinking is that if you're using cotton fabric, use cotton thread. And what I've heard for the reason for that is like if you're using a polyester thread, I mean, yeah, no, this is quilt police land. But use whatever thread you want in the end. But I think the argument is that with like a polyester thread on cotton, polyester is never gonna weaken really like cotton will. So at some point the polyester thread might cut through the cotton fabric, like cut through the threads of the cotton fabric. You know, if you're, I don't know in what scenario that would happen, but that's I've read that once, so maybe that's a thing. I don't know. I'd like to hear you guys' opinion on what thread to use for stuff. I just always hear from, you know, people in the industry, use a cotton thread if you're using cotton fabric. I don't know. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of thread. There's thread that washes away, so you can stitch something down and it'll disintegrate in water for, you know, certain reasons you might need that. And there's stretchy elastic thread. There's like as many different threads as fabric probably. Rayon. Yeah, exactly. Whatever thread is handy, Nolene. And even if it doesn't match the fabrics, you know, no one's gonna starve or die. You know? So use what you got. And if you want to just try other things, you know, try and improve or try and just read up on other ways of doing things or whatever. The industry people seem to say match whatever type of fabric you're using to like the thread. So like, you know, cotton fabric, use cotton thread. I'm sure there's arguments in the other direction though too. Oh, Superior Threads disagrees with that theory. See, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. It's all who you talk to, and that goes with most most quilting things, most like rules of quilting. There's arguments that go both ways. So it's like the same with which way do you press your seams? Do you press them to one side or open? There's logical arguments, technical arguments, you know, where technically each makes sense. Like, oh, it'll wear more this way or not. But, you know, in the end, who knows? Who's, you know, scientifically doing those tests? And who is the scientist testing those tests to, like, repeat those tests in, you know, controlled environments? Yeah, it's just not happening. So use whatever you want to use. Do it the way that works better. I nest my seams, or I do the pressing one way or the other just because I like nesting the seams together versus having the open seams. And, you know, I match the thread with the fabric content when I can, but in a pinch, I'm not going to care. Ooh, did that one already. There we go. Come here, thread. All right. Ugh, just a few more here. 3 more. This one and then 2 more after this, I think. This is one of those putsy things. Putsy things that I wouldn't want to do for a whole quilt, but it does make the front look nice, I think. Although it does make a satisfying mess scrap pile of thread. Oh, and here is a public service announcement for anyone interested. There is another season of the Great British Baking Show on Netflix right now, so if you've been waiting for it to come back, it is there. Except for don't tell me anything, because I'm only an episode and a half in. But that's just the most relaxingest show on TV, and I love it so much. All right, 2 more to go. All right, and this side. The Hubs is watching it with me, and we have our favorites, but I won't say anything more because, like I said, we're only an episode and a half in. Oh wait, we're on Bread Week. We're 2 episodes in, 2.5 episodes in. Ugh, but if you've had a hard day and you just want the world to be right, gotta watch some Great British Baking Show. All right. No, I'm watching, well, I'm up to date except for the current season. So I'm not all cut up with the new of the new season that just, oh, and actually I'm watching it on Netflix, so the season might have already happened. Oh, I tore my thread a little bit there. Hopefully we're okay. So actually I might be even a season behind because I'm watching it on Netflix, and those might be reruns. Or are they on Netflix right away, or is it somewhere else before it's on Netflix? I don't even know. But yeah, so I'm watching it on Netflix, so, and I don't know what season it is, but it's the 2nd season with the new judges and the new hosts. That's where I'm at. I like it. Best show. This is our last 2 tie-offs here. Is it still on PBS? Do they air it on PBS first before Netflix? I know they used to, but I thought that changed. Oh yeah, in the last season and this season, Mary Berry isn't there anymore, and neither are the 2 hosts. However, you know, you watch the show without them in, and you think, oh no, it's gonna just be horrible, but it isn't. It's just as lovely. Oh, Mary is back! Oh man, see, I didn't know that. Okay, so see, I must be a season behind. Whatever they show on Netflix might be, you know, what season is behind. Like, it's probably one of those things like they'll release it to Netflix when the new show is on, the new season on whatever network it is. So I'm watching whatever the last season is. All right, that is it. Here we are, you guys. Look how much it got cleaned up without all of that, all of the threads on the front anymore. I think it's looking pretty cute. And we got a finished block here. Awesome. So we are done. That means we have 4 blocks ready to go. We have this guy from last night. I already have him in a little baggie to put back in my bin. So these 2 will go in the next set of 4 for the Quilt As You Go. And then we have the pineapple block, and oh, the curves that we just did. So we're gonna do curves. Let's just take them out. I'm gonna have the curves, the pineapple, and then these two, last night's and tonight's, will be our next 4. Yay! Let's just plop them down, see what we got. So something like that. Maybe we rearrange. Don't know. But there we go. These are going to be our 4. We'll have to choose on a configuration tomorrow. But what we've been doing is picking 4 blocks, and then we've been sandwiching them in our background fabric. Like here's 4. We've been putting a sashing and a little cornerstone in, and then we've been sandwiching it on our back fabric, and we have our batting in already. And we've been doing that in groups of 4. So we've done that 3 times already. We have this grouping, then this grouping of 4, and then our last one that we did is this grouping of 4. And then we've been putting them together using that quilt as you go method, where it's kind of like putting a binding strip or sewing the front and then putting like a binding strip in the back to hold it together, and we stitch down. We'll go through that whole process again with these 4 blocks. Yay! So this will be our 4th of 25, I think. Our 4th deal here. Wait, not of 25. Our 4th of 20. No, 25. Yeah, our 4th of 25 of these that we'll end up making. Oh my gosh, that sounds like we have a ton of quilt left, but I suppose we do. All right. Oh, I do need to cut different cornerstones. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow as well. Just get a few more selection from our fun colors. We'll do that. All right. So I am going to flip you guys around and we'll take a look at this. Hello, hello. So I just wanted to show you the block quick before we leave. So here we are. I think you can definitely get a little sense of the applique pieces some more now that they're traced. You know, even the ones with the matching color, I just think it made it pop just subtly enough so that it looks like we got something going on there now. So yay! So tomorrow we'll get going on this quilt as you go again. We'll probably just sew the front together. Maybe we'll prep the pieces, the back and pin it all. I don't know if we'll get that far, but we'll see. And then Thursday will be New Block Thursday, so we'll probably get our 4 new blocks, and we'll have to pick from those 4 which one we want to do. So that's the plan for the next few days. And I'll get this guy up on YouTube. Great to have another block done here tonight. So thanks again for joining me, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.